Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a good Wednesday. I am planning on it. We'll see how it goes, though. We'll see how it goes. 7th Cav Trooper, Clan TK on his Progetto 46. I got my glasses the thing about glasses is they get smudgy. You know what I mean? What are my glasses wearers friends out there? Glasses wearers friends. So that's a little bit better. Progetto 46, 7th Cav Trooper. Sent me this replay. Said, I'm in a losing streak. My 1K win rate was 57%. It's down to 52. And I can't break 45% for days. Well, welcome to the club. It happens. No idea how to fix it. Well, let's see if we can work on that a little bit. But then this weird comeback on Himmelsdorf happened, and I'm back to thinking I don't have any idea how to play the game because I have no idea how we won. I watched this video and this replay, and I said, well, this is actually a good one to discuss because, as we've noted before, I believe, and I believe it to be true, that there are meta ways to win. There are critical terrains on the maps. There are best case scenarios. There are the high percentage plays. I happen to think it happens to be the hill on Himmelsdorf. That doesn't mean that everyone should go up the hill. I would like to have almost everyone. But the question then is, how do you come off the hill? What do you do? It's always a case of, you've won your flank, what do you do? But let's watch it from 7th Cav Trooper's side, because he doesn't go up the hill. And when I initially watched this, I thought, well, really bad positioning. Really bad positioning. But they end up winning. So let's go through it. He does have a pretty try-hard setup here. I mean, we've got a bounty aiming device, improved aiming. We have a bounty vert stab, and we have a bond vents. We're in a Progetto now, so this is all good. This is going to be a good setup. We're running a fire extinguisher, no food. We don't have a directive, and we are only carrying 10 APCR, so that's not bad. So let's take a look what he does, because we get going, and 7th Cav is going to come down here and hang out at the bottom of this road. And I see people do this a lot. It's something I have to deal with when I go up on the hill. There's, especially obviously from the north spawn, when you start coming around the corner up the hill, you start to get shot in the side, or potentially as you're peeking over this little opening here and shooting down on top of them. Same thing happens from the south spawn to the north. There is a little notch right here where you can start to look down this road in the north side, and you often get guys hanging out down there trying to shoot. So 7th Cav is going to come up here, and he's going to start working across the middle. I used to go to this spot a lot, very, I mean, I'm talking 6, 7, 8 years ago when I first started playing. Been at this for about 11 years now. And it's a spot I used to go hang out in the various holes there. This has changed a couple times, but there's some ramps, and it looks like a really great place to be defensive and hold down and hang out. I don't remember the last time I've ever come to this position, which is not to say that it is a completely useless position, because sometimes people will just make themselves available. I really don't know what this A Phase 1's plan is. I think he believes he's probably got a good number of tanks behind him, the OHO, the T-95, and the E-75, and figures, hey, let's just roll in here and peel out, kill this overextended VK-100-01. Now notice what's going on the hill so far. We have a guy that's pushed up the Batchat 25 TAP, and we have 3 or 4 dudes on the hill, but not very many. It looks like maybe 3. So just watch what's going on the hill, and we have a whole bunch of guys over here. We have 3 or 4 of us down here looking for those shots in a position that requires the enemy team to walk into us or give us shots. And then we've got a couple dudes over here. Not very surprising that some TDs go on the 1-2 line and hang out. So he has shots of opportunity. Absolutely, take those shots, backs out, and now we're playing the Progetto auto reloader game, where we need to try to reload as fast as possible, but also have an eye towards DPM. Looks like he takes that shot just because maybe the OHO is going to get away. It's really nice to be able to reload everything, but if you have shots of opportunity, and it looks like he might just get another one. Yeah, there we go. We'll just take it and back out. That's about as low as the DPM will get on a Progetto for an auto reloader, shooting the first shell every time. That's the hardest it's going to be as far as DPM. Now look at the hill. The hill, the few guys we had there, I think, did they kill anyone? Maybe they're about to. I think they've got somebody surrounded, pinned down up there. You can see the little green icon. The rest of them bailed out. So normally you would look at this and go, well, this is a really bad situation. More than likely, the green team is in big trouble. Except that they didn't really kill anybody on the hill, did they? They got one guy trapped, but it's not like they went up there and faced 3 or 4 and killed them all. It's still relatively even. The greens are down 1,000. The purples have the hill, but that's what I was talking about earlier. It's like, all right, well, what do we do with the hill? Do we just rage down and go, holy cow, we're winning by a mile, let's just start gobbling them up? Well, that would work if you had a huge advantage. Now, they've kind of created one now. They've got 3. So it's probably starting to look really nice for them, but it's still not that huge of an advantage. So we fall back, and this is kind of what you will end up seeing as guys peek over that little notch right there, and we get a shot into the to the Type 59. Here they come. So they've basically sent everybody. Really what we have here is a big circle. The green side is winning the west, the purple side is winning the east, and we're kind of rolling around each other right there. And the greens are setting up a bit of a defense. The purples are raging into the defense and getting chewed up a little bit, giving up a bit of the hit point advantage. Notice we're down to 539 advantage. Now that's not a, again, I've noted this multiple times, it's not a perfect number. Sometimes you don't see everything that's going on and it doesn't update completely, but it's a pretty good indication. So we're down 1,000, we're down 4 to 2 tanks. But notice how they're just kind of pushing in now into guys that are in strong positions, the E75 especially, and they kind of scattered, right? Some of them came down the ramp right here, the inside ramp, and they're kind of pushing into this corner, and we got a lot of guys with lots of different shots. Only one of them's messing around with the E75. Looks like they didn't want to take the E75 on. So when you start to get that kind of snowball effect that's going on, say you're the purple team in this game, it's important to peel out the right guys quickly. And we're sort of just flowing into a bunch of cross shots, and it's right here that things get kind of squirrely for the purple, because this E50 rages in one of their tier 9s, and he's just kind of out in the open of everything, and we punish him pretty hard for that. He just rages in, and I bet he wishes he had that back. Holy cow, boom, boom, A phase 1 down, E50 down. We've evened this thing up a little bit, still behind a little bit, but we have some pretty good tanks still left. And look at this E75 still anchoring that southeast corner down there and causing them all kinds of trouble. So you look at this and go, well, I don't have any idea how to play the game because I have no idea how we won. That's the whole explanation is on. You won because the purple team kind of scattered. And holy cow, listen, now we have an advantage. In tanks anyway. It's 7 to 6. We have an extra tank. And the hit points are looking pretty good. Come around here and we find this Centurion. You have maintained your votes. And I will tell you one thing. The ability for you to maintain your votes is one of the big reasons that this team ends up winning. It's a hard one though, because the early position I thought was bad as far as the high percentage play. The way the game flowed and ended up happening, the decisions that the purple guys make, remember the enemy gets a vote, whatever your plan was, good and bad, to include your own players, they get a vote as well, and you have to react to that. And at this point, pretty darn good reaction by you and the team. Now notice that the guys that pushed into the northwest are dead on your team or neutered. Their guys that pushed into the southeast have been killed, and now it's kind of a bit of a reset. More or less an even game with you up by 2 tanks. Hit points pretty close. And now you're going to follow the Char and the Standard B and stick together. Notice the E75 is probably exposed, although I think he backs out and you don't find him. Your guy that pushed in alone dies. That's no mystery there. All right, this is the example of what I was talking about. You have a Skoda T56, although he has full hit points. Basically, he's in big trouble if we can get the E75 and 2 autoloaders on him. And I think actually your Standard B comes back. And this takes a little longer than I would have thought. The Char's sort of staring, hoping he can get a shot. We come around the corner, take a quick shot, we get a crit damage. Somebody really needs to push up there. It looks like the E75 is trying to come up and around. Then the standard comes in, and we're still futzing around. Like, nobody wants to lose any hit points. And the problem is, obviously, here, that the Skoda T56 has 2 shots. And nobody wants to eat 2 440 or 460, I guess it's really 460, alpha shots. And we're just really sort of messing around with this. It's a really good thing that the enemy team wasn't coordinated together at all and wasn't able to kind of push in behind you and start causing you trouble. But we end up tag teaming this dude, and boom, all right. So I thought that took a little longer maybe than it should have, but you know what? All of you are alive. Not a lot of hit points were lost. Waited for the E75 to come around the corner, and that was a good kill because that was a pretty full hit point. Gives us a hit point advantage, gives us a 2 tank advantage, and look at us moving together. So really, when you say I don't know how we won, it's pretty clear. You know what I'm saying? If you just sort of back off of it and go, all right, yep, it certainly didn't go the way I thought it would go. It doesn't go the way a win usually goes on this map. But if you consider what they did as they started to win, which was nothing really good, it's pretty clear, actually, once you sort of step back from it and look at it. The game doesn't always have to be played by the odds. I think that's a better idea than not always playing by the odds. But if you run into a situation where you have something like this going on, it really is a matter of how you react. Do you react better to the situation, whatever it is, than the enemy team? And I would say your team definitely did. Look how your autoloaders are all kind of working together, and they have been for a good portion of the mid to late game right here. And that's brutal. You get a bunch of autoloaders working together like this, it's hard to overcome. You kind of need a couple of your own to sort of take them on, or they need to be on very low hit points. I'd have just raged at this guy right here. I wouldn't even do this. Just go at him. Maybe even get a ram. It was kind of unlucky. He does get one shot on you. We're going to go around the long way. I thought this was not a bad idea. I was thinking, man, I'll just roll in there and get in behind him. I think the Char Future actually does that. The cool thing about this maneuver, although you only have 1 APCR round, do you figure this out? You need to press 1 and get reloaded with your standard rounds there. Yeah, you didn't notice it. That's tricky. You got to watch for that, because by the time you came around behind the T95, you would have had all 3 regular rounds right there. I didn't notice that in the first watch through. So we're going to come around here, and you'll probably be surprised right here. You'll go, shoot, where's the rest of my shots? Maybe even just rage around and ram him. I don't know. A few more hit points. It's no worries, though. We're going to get one more, I think, shot in on this guy. We actually get the kill, I believe. There we go. So we end up with 4 kills, 3,437 damage, and what you called a game you had no idea how to play the game because you have no idea how you won. So there you go. That's how you won. It was non-standard in terms of it was a lower percentage way to win this map, but it was not a surprise to me in any way based on what the enemy team did. All right, sometimes you got to pay attention, not sometimes. You have to pay as much attention to what the enemy team is doing and how your team reacts to get a general idea of how you won, than just sitting and looking at what your team, or even what you did, right? To open up the aperture, look at the whole thing, go, all right, what really happened here? Well, they won the hill, but they didn't really kill much. Then they came screaming down. They got a little bit of an advantage because they kind of flanked some people, but they spread out and they went in many different directions. Then they got in some crossfires. You guys kept it even and then started to whittle them away. Your team got organized together better than theirs did and gobbled up a couple important tanks. And the next thing you know, you're running down the lone T95 and his Batchat 12T guy, and it's over. And there you go. There you go. I think you lose more games that go that way than you win, because the hill is that important. But the enemy team made a mistake and you capitalize. So there you go. Nice game, man. That was well done. That was actually pretty fun to watch. It's nice to see when a team can recover from a bad deployment like that. Often it takes the enemy team making a mistake. So be it. The question isn't whether they make a mistake or you do, or whether they have luck or don't, or you do or don't. It's what you do with it. It's the next step. All right, man, that's all I've got. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Like I said, have a good Wednesday, and tomorrow's Turkey Day, so get ready.